gonna be walking and talking and putting stuff away while I yap with y'all. Doomcock posted another video and I wanted to chime in because that's what I do when he does. I think what he talked about was good. And I'm not gonna say that he doesn't have valid criticisms. Nobody has valid criticisms. If I broke that, I'm going to die. Just a second. Oh, please don't be broken. And you're broken. Shit. Oh, God. Well, that sucks. Hey, Dave. Anyway, I can't believe this. This is the third every time. These floors are just, nothing survives them. All right, so valid criticisms on the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, sure. I mean, you do. But to jump in and scream and be aggressive about it, and some people have been. The guys at Echo Base have not. And, you know, but there have been people who are aggressively angry, and I don't know why. I mean, but they also, this really bums me out because that was part of a set. Anyway, I have to find it. Hopefully the glue will work magic. Anyway, so it's either talk to you guys or do this. Hi guys. Anyway, hi chat. So yeah, I mean the pacing for some people is too slow. You know, the fact that they're calling Boba a nice guy. He is not a nice guy. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why anybody would say that. It's like, what are you watching? You know, I don't see it. What I see is pragmatism. I see a guy who is dehydrated, who's been through an emotional, traumatic experience and a physically traumatic experience. The first thing you do when you see him in the Sarlacc is, the arm of one of the snowmen came off and I gotta fix it. And these floors are murder on Christmas ornaments, especially unbreakable ones. So you're looking at somebody who is not going to be physically or emotionally up to being the invincible bad guy that you want him to be. And the trope that he shows up and you know, turns out to be the best Tusken ever. It's not that. He's not. He's one of the off-worlders. Okay, so he is bringing them a different way of looking at things, of being able to use technology to protect themselves. Hey, Joker voice. So it's not that he's the bestest ever, but again, you got to remember, I mean, you can't. It's a contradiction to say he's not the badass bounty hunter he used to be, and then in the same breath say, and he's the bestest ever Tusken Raider. It's like, what? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Joker voice. So I can't look at that and take that criticism seriously. Because, all right, let's look historically because I use historical analogies a lot. In Wisconsin, there were tribes called the Chippewa, the Winnebago, and I think there were a few other ones. Hey, Seaman. And back in the 15 and 1600s, French fur trappers and traders came in and traded guns, aka muskets and flintlocks, you know, basically crude, what we would call crude firearms, to the Native Americans who didn't have them. And they in turn were able to drive tribes like the Sioux out of Wisconsin. Okay, the Sioux are broken up into three tribes. The Lakota, who are the furthest west, those are the ones that fought Custer and caused all the trouble. The Nakota and the Dakota. And the Dakota lived on the eastern shore of the Mississippi River in Wisconsin. They got chased out because the Chippewa and the Winnebago and other tribes had guns from the French. It's not unlike that when you see Fett bringing swoop bikes and speeders to the Tuscans and teaching them how to use them. Okay, so really that didn't bother me. And is he the bestest ever? Well, a female Tuscan Raider. I was right. 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 Beat the shit out of him. Why? Because he just spent, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days trying to get out of the Sarlacc pit. He is dehydrated. He's not strong. Yeah, happy birthday, Bobby. He's not the guy that got thrown into the Sarlacc pit. Okay? So when he starts to be able to fight again, when he goes into that Tashi Station bar and saves Cammy and Fixer, okay, that is Boba Fett. That's who we expected to see. And he killed those guys. He didn't beat the shit out of them and leave them alive. He killed them, all right? People are missing that, all right? Here's the deal about a man of action. And I said this before. A guy that just goes around killing people and is constantly, that kind of is not an alpha. An alpha male is called to action only when he absolutely has to be. You know? You understand what I'm saying? He saw that gang go. He knew where they were going. And, oh yeah, Lawrence of Arabia too. And he took care of the problem. He went in there and absolutely destroyed him. This is the Boba Fett you were expecting. Yet, here we are. The question is, what do you want? I've asked this before. But here's the point. So I understand why Doomcock is saying what he's saying. I understand why the guys at Echo Base are saying what they're saying. I feel that they're not giving the show a chance, and they're not understanding the underlying reasons why it's going on. He physically is unable to do the things you think he should be able to when he comes out of the Sarlacc pit. And the reason why he didn't fly out of there with his jetpack is continuity. Jetpack's wrecked. Sorry, it doesn't work. And it didn't work until Cobb Vanth used it and fixed it. Okay, so, all right, let's go on. So the rumor is the big reveal is not just going to be Han Solo, but it's going to be Leia and Luke and Grogu at the end, okay? And I think this is really interesting to me because and if that's the case, the ST is dead. Because this time, in that timeline, Muleface is already 5 years old. He's already 5 years old in this. As far as I can see, Grogu is taking that place. Okay? And it's very interesting to me watching this go on. And if it's true, and I gotta say this. Hey, Mickey Rooney. I have to say this. I know for a fact that I think Carrie's estate has said it was all right for them to, hey, Maze, that Carrie's estate said they were fine with deep faking her, okay? And, I know Billy can do her voice. Billy sounds like her, but that's not necessarily important. Because A good voice actress can do that, can do her. So I'm not worried about that as much, but I do know that they've basically gave permission for her to, for that this happened a while back. And Harrison Ford, you know, doing the again back in May, an actor whose name will not be mentioned, was doing a Mopac for a secret project he wasn't talking about. Hurt his ankle, by the way. We've got the rumor now that Harrison Ford did some stuff for deepfake stuff for the Book of Boba Fett. And everything is starting to make sense now. This is just seeing what they're doing is undoing the Disney the Kennedy timeline. Kennedy timeline had Vader destroy the Hutt clans. Remember? Who are these two? Did they just get? I mean, who are they? All right. And if Rhoda the Hutt, Jabba's son, shows up, then we're really gonna have a problem. Okay. Then the shit's gonna hit the fan, because then we have him staking claim to his father's holdings. So we've got the Hutts fighting over it and fighting with Boba. We've got the Pikes, and God, again, I've said it before. Tatooine and that whole area is a power vacuum, which is why you see gangs running loose. Okay. So, I've always said this about Tatooine. When George wanted Luke and originally Anakin to be from Tatooine, there's a biblical reference. Nothing good ever comes out of Nazareth. Nazareth was a backwater town in Galilee, all right? And it was, the armpit of the empire, okay? Tatooine is the armpit of the empire, all right? It's the armpit of the galaxy. So that's exactly the reference. Nothing good comes out of Nazareth. Okay. Well, obviously something good came out of Nazareth. And obviously something good came out of Tatooine. Anakin Skywalker and then Luke. Okay. So, it's very interesting that they picked this. Now, Tom Conkle had a point yesterday that they need to make it bigger than Tatooine. Okay. So they have to get away from it. Excuse me. So I think that maybe Boba hopefully will go somewhere like to Nal Hutta, maybe Nar Shaddaa, which would be cool. Could you imagine the Smuggler's Moon? Oh my God. That would be epic. And they need to do that. I mean, hopefully they do that. I'm not going to sit there and condemn it because they didn't, but I think it would help the show to expand how big the galaxy is. Okay. To show you that Jabba's holdings weren't just Tatooine. He controlled the spice routes. He controlled the hyperspace lanes. And in that area, all right, this is Hutt space. Okay. How big is Hutt space? We've never explored Hutt space. And I honestly don't think the Clone Wars ever visited Nar Shaddaa or Nal Hutta, and if they have, correct me, okay? I don't think they did. And if you want to know more about what's going on and you're not satisfied, go watch Attack of the Clones and then watch every episode of the Clone Wars in which Boba Fett shows up. I just got done watching one called The Bounty I'm going to spoil it. Asajj Ventress, um, Asajj Ventress, basically ends up joining a bounty hunting team with Dengar and Bosk and some chick. And because she killed one of their guys. So they get her into the team. And Boba Fett, the little 15-year-old Boba Fett, is part of it. He's the leader. And she discovers that the bounty that they're doing is okay, thanks for that. So they did explore Nal Hutta. One of the bounty that they're onto is protecting cargo for a certain person on a planet. Finds out the cargo's a little girl that they want that the guy wants as his bride. And Ventress's past, when you think about it, came back to haunt her then. So when they get there and they get them, and Ventress takes the money and walks out, the case is open, and guess who's in there? Bound and gagged Boba Fett, pissed off. Okay. This was a good thing to see Mr. Superman in a position like that. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and it sounds like no sign of creepy Ben Solo. I mean, if he's not in it, then he's not in it. And if Leia shows up pregnant with twins, it's over. And then Fett going, this is what the galaxy needs, is more twins. Because he knows Luke and Leia are twins, and he just got into a fight with two Hutts that are twins. I think that would be hysterical. And it also, there's some, I think, story foretelling there with that. You know, I mean, there's some, oh God, what do they call that? When you see something in a movie and it doesn't tell you anything about what happens, but at the end you realize it was telling you what the story was about. And we're on Tatooine with its twin sons. We have twin Hutts who want their cousins' holdings. Foreshadowing. Yeah, there's foreshadowing in that. I really see it. I mean, you know, I was right about Luke coming in. You know, I was right about Luke showing up. So I think if it's true, and Doomcock, I don't think he'd say something if he didn't feel like it could be true. And when people said stuff about, no, Luke will never show up, it's like, it's writing 101. Who makes the most sense? Skywalker. That's it. Okay, Skywalker. But I gotta see what time it is. Just a second. Put you guys here. Okay, I got another show to do. So, because I was invited to go on Didi Sorvino's podcast, and, you know, well, we'll see. I mean, if it's writing 101, what makes the most sense? What would make the most sense in a Star Wars story that's kind of on the fringe of the main one? The main characters have to show up. Okay, Boba Fett is a much bigger character than Cara Dune. And I'm going to say this, the woman that is playing the Tusken Raider, the female Tusken Raider, I think she should be recast as Cara Dune. Okay, I do. And I really think that Disney should and Lucasfilm should be public about this. And I think Gina should be too about it. Because it would put a lot of people, make a lot of people quiet. Yeah, well, I mean, main character aliens, we got Grogu, we got Ahsoka. I think if they want to do an all female Jedi thing, they could do some adventures of Luminara Unduli and Shaak Ti, I think. And then you'd have your all female plus their aliens. But anyway, I gotta go because I'm gonna be late for my podcast. So I'll talk to y'all later. This is good news. This is positive, and I really think the people who are not giving this show a chance are doing a disservice to Favreau and Filoni only because they're basically they're keeping people away from it. Okay? Tell people to watch it. Even if you didn't like it. Okay? Even if you have problems with it. The reason why is because it is good storytelling despite what you think. B, you're stopping Kennedy. The whole thing, in my opinion, is to stop that bitch and to stop the story group. All right. So I gotta go. This is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.